It was an electric glass washer. It looked even older than the barman. I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wiring. I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire.
There we go.
I knew it was dangerous, but I was desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions. Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints.
And the bar's probably going to burn down.
On the house. Now, could you take a look at the beer pumps?
Oh, I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
Perfect. Where's the flashlight?
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen.
Where's that flashlight? I don't see it.
Excuse me?
Yes, sir?
The flashlight.
Look, I gotta be going.
I don't know how this
lifted the
helps.
trap door, and an overpowering smell of stale beer rose from the cellar below. I looked down on a stone-tiled floor, way too far to jump.
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light opera. It was Khan. What's the problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth shut. Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
What, sinister or what?
Now I could see. I spotted Mr. Leary's flashlight easily. Then I noticed a flash of light, something sparkling beneath the open trap door.
It's the gem.
It was Peagram's gem, all right. A large, uncut blue stone. I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire, I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way, you're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari.
We do need water.
The slow drip of water barely dampened the towel. The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
Grim.
I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water. I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping.
Is there nothing we can do about his pumps?
Excuse me? Yes, sir? Look,
Maybe not.
I gotta be going. It was impossible to return the switch to its original position.
And we don't have anything to fix that. I'm focusing on the wrong thing, aren't I? We have a torch, we have a wet towel, plaster of Paris is already in place. Let's go to the castle. That goat is one evil looking thing.
The trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster. I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
Now, let's break into this old room.
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
Rats. Good job, we have that torch, right? That evening, back in Paris.
I had messages waiting to be played.
You have 3 messages.
Hey, Collard, it's me, your favorite editor. Guess what? I'm gonna give you a second chance. I need somebody to write the TV column. Pays lousy, so what's new? If you're interested, drop by the office. In fact, drop by the office anyway. We have to talk, Nico. That story of yours I spiked. It won't go away. You've made some dangerous enemies out there.
Hey, Nico, it's your old pal. I mean, your new pal, George. Whoa, Ireland. It's a whole different country. And I got some amazing news for you. Gem of a story, in fact. Oh, gotta go. Yeah, fella here's got a drink lined up for me. See you tomorrow, Nico. Slàinte. Yep, only here for a day and I'm speaking the lingo like a local.
Mademoiselle Coulard, this is Imelda Carchon. I wanted to thank you for being so understanding when... Come to lunch, why don't you? Tomorrow. I might have more news. There's a Monsieur Merlon coming to see me this evening. He says he knows why Pierre was murdered. In fact, he'll be here shortly. I shall let you know what he says. Goodbye, dear girl. Till tomorrow.
Merlin?
No!
Oh my God. Merlin's the killer. I'd better get over there and mourn her now. When it came to being two-faced, Imelda was up there with the best. I owed her nothing, but I couldn't just let her die. I arrived to find the Palais Royal courtyard deserted. I only hoped that I'd beaten the assassin here. I had to warn Imelda before it was too late. The intercom system wasn't working. Bad sign. Somebody had cut the wire. Locked?
Uh-oh.
No way was I going to break through a door like that.
We don't really have anything to break this either, do we?
I unhooked the first wire.
You still got both your eyes, right?
I released the second wire. Even with both wires removed, the statue remained upright.
Not if you push it.
If I could deconstruct this, I could deconstruct anything. That broken window looked like the best way in.
Okay, I see. In heels as well? God, she's brave.
The plastic sheet was thick and strong. I'd need more than my hands to tear it.
That bullet casing's great. That hole is also lower than it was at the start of the game. I don't think there is anything in here, is there?
My God, I'm too late.
Has she been positioned?
Imelda. Oh no.
Nico?
Don't worry, you're going to be alright.
You know that isn't true.
It was Merlin, wasn't it?
Dressed as a cavalier. How absurd. You came to warn me, didn't you?
I must be crazy.
Let me see you, Nico.
All this time you were just using me. Which one is the real Imelda?
You are an extraordinary girl. Thierry would have been so proud of you.
You didn't know my father.
So like him. Something about the eyes. I wish we'd had time to get to know each other.
She was gone. She cheated me, lied to me, used me. But why? Even in death, Imelda looked the same. Beautiful, inscrutable. The Ice Queen alone in her ice palace. I opened it. Inside was a tiny gold key. I took the key. I had to leave. I knew I could never return.
You know what that key does? Why did she have it?
In the dim light, I caught the reflection of something metallic. A small, sinister-looking metal disc had been tucked under my father's box. It was a bug. Oh, chère cousine. You left me a little present. You shouldn't have.
Maybe we should have done that earlier. They've heard all this stuff with George. Damn it.
You don't scare me. Espèce de...
Oh, it's broken. It's funny, we looked at that box before.
The box was carved by my father. It never had a key. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to
Until
Cochon's.
now.
I took out the key. I couldn't believe it. Imelda's key opened my father's box. I dreaded what I was going to find inside.
Part of the picture.
It was a photograph of Imelda. But why here? In my father's box? I felt as if a black hole had swallowed me up. Imelda and Cochon grinning. while behind them a village was being razed to the ground, its people butchered. And there, next to them, staring out at me across the years, my own father. There was a letter. I feared there was even worse to come. Hotel St. Georges, Algiers, Friday. My darling Thierry, by the time you read this, you'll be safely out of Africa. You need not fear. Pierre and the organization do not know who you are really working for, or about us. Did you think I would betray you? I could not. You wanted me to leave him, but I don't have your courage. I know too much of what has been going on here. They would find me and they would kill us both. Enjoy your life in Paris, Thierry. Your life of honor, of patriotic duty. Do they give medals to spies? No, they'll just give you a phony job in an embassy somewhere. I could never share that with you. Imagine me, a diplomat's wife. So I must stay here with Pierre, the two of us bound together by what we have done to this country. Au revoir, my love. You will be in my heart until I die. Imelda. Suddenly everything made sense. My father had been working undercover for the government. He was one of the good guys after all. He and Imelda must have fallen in love. She'd found out who he really was, so he had to leave. It had broken her heart, but she had never revealed it to anyone. I knew I couldn't either. Whatever he was doing, he'd had good reason to keep it secret. I decided I would respect that and tell nobody.
The next morning.
I knew it was George. For a moment I was tempted to pretend that I was out, or ask him to go away and come back later. But then... Come in.
Hello, George.
Go back from Ireland quick.
So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Hardly. He was dead.
And you say Pigram has disappeared?
Without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Pigram's gem?
The Templars' gem. Whoever Jacques Marquet is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
Probably can't.
What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man. Let's take another look at the manuscript.
We need the tripod.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod.
The hanged man.
A knight with a crystal ball. The knight scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
I don't see anything about a hanged man.
There's a guy working on a loom. There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
Have we missed anything?
Look there, 2 guys on the same horse. What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man. Do you want to look after the gem?
No, George. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
I can't sit here all day, much as I'd like to.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobinot at the Kron Museum. And why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
To the museum, I think.
I so much wanted to talk to George about everything that had happened, but I knew I never could. My father's connection to Africa would have to remain a secret forever. His bravery would be known only to the government and to me. Revealing it would just damage his memory. People would take the story and twist it. Before long, he would be the villain and Carchon would be the hero. I know how they do that. I'm a journalist.
Pardon me.
Is,
Oui, monsieur?
the professor
Can you give
in?
me any further information about the tripod?
Certainly, monsieur. It's infamous. That tripod?
We've done all this. Where's the
Do you know
professor?
anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar. Though people often mistake me for one. It is the uniform.
And they ask it.
They ask me to... They ask...
We've
Whereas,
done all
Of
this.
course not. Not like...
thanks for your help.
Maybe we're supposed to go to the police station first. Let's go to the police station. Although there's got to be a way to find the guy.
Sergeant Moo,
Yes,
have you heard of a man called Marquet?
yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Well,
Which
that's handy to
hospital was
know.
Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic in the Avenue des Hérissons.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur?
I'm
I...
outside. They stopped.
Could you just...
One, their name.
Bon.
We've done
Why
that.
was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
See you
Right.
later, Sergeant.
So we have a hospital to go to.
I felt a little guilty as I tried the door, like I was about to rob a grave. I gripped the handle with an involuntary tremble in my hand and pulled. The door was locked.
That's probably good.
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Really? If you wish to make an appointment, see the receptionist.
No,
I'm
no.
looking for a guy named Jacques Marquet.
In which department does he work?
He doesn't. He's a patient.
I see. You do realize there are strict policies regarding visiting hours, don't you?
Thanks for your help.
What does the
Excuse me?
receptionist say?
Yes, sir?
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plans. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
Yeah, I'm his, long-lost brother.
A brother half his age with a different name and an American accent.
Yeah, people always say that. I blame Mom. We were separated at an early age. After a mix-up in the nursery at the Oakland shopping mall.
I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life.
I
Neither have
guess
I.
not. So, do I get to see Marquet before the funeral?
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. No one gets to see Marquet. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Oh, we can just go. Several minutes later, and we're back. Will this guy shake my hand?
Excuse me, sir. May I have the honor of shaking you by the hand?
You may not. I don't encourage physical contact between my staff.
This is important. I have to talk to Marquet urgently.
We make no exceptions to the rules.
It's a matter of life and death.
The well-oiled running of this hospital is a matter of life and death.
It's true.
That's why we have rules.
Thanks for your help.
We'll try her once again.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Has Marquet had a visit from a pair of gangsters?
I should hope not. Can you describe them?
A thin guy who looks like a weasel and his friend, the gorilla.
Sounds as if they escaped from the zoo.
Has Marquet been visited by a man in a clown costume?
Oh, no.
You haven't seen a man in disguise?
Well, there's Theodore the bear. He comes every Thursday to entertain the children. Personally, I think he scares them half to death in that crummy old bear suit. If I was stuck on my back with tubes in every orifice, he's the last person I'd want to see.
Look at this ID pass.
So you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
Struck a luck.
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see. He was on Ward B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh, dear. He's on Ward J2. That's Nurse Grendel's ward.
Who's Nurse
What's
Grendel?
so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well-disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result.
Oh, wow.
Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
J10. Several minutes later. Right, so it's not here. J10. Unless we need to ask her more. Which we clearly do, because this isn't giving me any options. J10's this way, I guess. Or that way. Go on, George, go talk to her.
Excuse me.
Yes,
Nurse
sir?
Grendel.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J. How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
Thank you. Administrator's sauna?
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Let's go.
As I
J2.
turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow. Hello.
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No, I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
See you later.
Yeah, take care now. Hey now, you can't go in there.
How come?
I'm responsible for the contents of that cupboard.